Arthur Miller in 1950, right? In 1953, he writes it. So not that long ago, almost, we're getting up to like 70 years ago, he writes this play. This is during the Cold War. But he sets the play in the late 1600s when everyone was afraid of witches and people started calling people witches for no good reason. There was no actual witchcraft, obviously, right? They believed that witchcraft was possible, but people started calling people witches as a way to what? So you can actually make someone an outcast and actually reaffirm, this is the important thing, you can reaffirm your spot in the collective, your place in the collective. So if you want to be part of the collective and then you get called a witch, the only way you can not be killed in the play, right? Again, back in the world of the play, if someone called me a witch in this play, I'm actually going to be hung, I'm going to be executed unless I, what? I have to accuse someone else of being a witch and say, hey, they put a spell on me, right? So they bewitched me. The way you get out of trouble is by turning someone else in. But what's the problem with that? Obviously, there is no experience there, right? This is an experience. Let me put it this way, okay? So that is an experience of relinquishing personal responsibility, isn't it? Because you're deferring blame to someone else, even though you don't have a good basis of evidence. Do people understand? So what we have in this society, in this world, are people being so scared and they're unaccountable, right? They're lacking accountability, if you want to talk about that human quality on this, right? There's a human quality of accountability and everyone can write personal responsibility. And people lack that in this world, and they lack that in the world of Miller in the 1950s in America. Remember, that's his context. That's not where the play is set. That's just when he wrote it. But he was writing it as a direct reference to that. The integrity there, the human quality of integrity, comes from assuming personal responsibility rather than deferring blame onto others. Now, the reason people start deferring blame onto others in the play is because they don't want to accept responsibility for the consequences, right? They would rather lie. So they play into the lie, right? Because they're afraid. Everyone understand that fear is how it all kind of starts. You have this irrational fear. It leads to irrational behaviors. And what happens is people start betraying one another. So something I want you to note from the outset here is there is this collective betrayal. There is a communal betrayal. People betray each other in the community because they're afraid. They don't want to accept responsibility. They'd rather turn someone else in. And also it's their way of getting what? People who don't like each other in this community in Salem can simply do what to get back at the person they don't like. So there's actually, what term does this link to? Human motivations in the rubric. See that? There's a motivation for revenge, but obviously that lacks integrity because people are getting revenge, and this is a key phrase to put as well, by perpetuating a lie. The lie is that people are witches. Everyone knows that no one's a witch, and yet everyone keeps perpetuating it because no one's willing to say, well, some people are, but not enough people are willing to say this is all ludicrous. This is hysteria, right? This is irrational. We just need to stop. And Proctor tries to step up to do that, but it costs his life, right? Because it's only him as the hero, the tragic hero. Proctor is called the tragic hero. So he's the tragic hero. He's willing to step up, but the collective isn't willing to step up. So he will have to pay the price with his life.